Before I run this case study, I'm going to call people out here. This is a 25-year-old girl, was having disc issues, was having back pain. Now she's not having back pain because she worked with me. And most of the time I work with people 35 plus. It's pretty equal between females and males, but I'm calling out the guys specifically here. I get on calls with guys, they tell me they're in so much pain they can't be present for their kids, they can't be intimate with their wife, they can't even do their job to support their family, and they're gonna have to potentially get a new job. Then when it comes time to take action, they backtrack saying, oh, it's not that important, now's not a good time. This little girl has more cojones than you guys. She had a problem, she knew she needed to take action. You've been called out. Let's cover the case study now.
So basically, I got a surf injury literally exactly a year ago in February. And I came home, got x-rays at Sharp, whatever. They did not find anything, of course. And I kind of just took some time off of the gym, finally got back to it. And that injury that was undiagnosed finally caught up to me in September of this year. And I was squatting, got stuck at the bottom of my squat, and from there went to the chiropractor, got diagnosed with a bulged disc, and I was doing chiropractic work 3 times a week, and then I slowly reintroduced the gym, and I thought stretching was what I was lacking. Turns out I was doing too much of it.
All right, we're going to pause here. Let's talk about this for a second. First of all, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage, injections, all of those things aren't necessarily bad in the beginning stages of rehab. But the 10,000 foot view or explanation on why you're having pain is because the stress you're placing on your body is more than you can handle it. So you're running into your pain ceiling. So all those things, none of them are really increasing your body's capacity or ability to handle stress. They're great for pain relief in the beginning or temporary relief, kind of like a Band-Aid. But if you're not doing anything after the fact to increase that capacity, that's how you're going to end up in this merry-go-round of continuing to have pain. So most people tell me they get 20, 30, 40% better than hang out in this gray area forever and never get any further. If your goal is to get back to mall walking and you're 90 years old, sure, have someone rub your back and you'll be fine. But if you want to get back to these higher level activities, we need to do things to increase your body's capacity.
And I threw myself over the edge again, even going through chiropractic work, and I thought I was doing everything right. And I was like, I'm gonna keep flaring up if I don't get some serious help, because clearly what I'm doing is not right.
In terms of the stretching, so let's talk about stretching, especially when it comes to disc or nerve issues. So we're going to do two things with stretching here. First of all, if we stretch a nerve, if it's already irritated, we're going to piss it off or bother it. And think of it kind of like when I drink mezcal. I feel great in the moment. So we stretch our hamstrings, we stretch our glutes, we stretch our lower back. It feels amazing in that moment. Then 6 to 8 hours later, we feel terrible and we have no idea why. Kind of like I wake up the next morning and I feel terrible. The only difference is I know why. I know why you feel terrible because you stretch those areas. So if you don't dose the stretching, program the stretching correctly, and implement it as needed, you're going to have these equivalent of hangovers. And then last little tidbit on stretching too. Everyone always thinks, oh, I'm going to stretch every day. I need mobility work. Nobody ever thinks I need to squat or deadlift every day. They apply the tool or the exercise, and then they let their body rest, recover, and adapt, so then we can apply it again. Most of the time, and yeah, there's some nuance to this, you can stretch every day, but most of the time, there should be dosed stretching blocks where we do it, and then we let ourselves recover.
And then the algorithm brought me to Wes, and he basically called me out on my stuff, and I was like, I need to work with this guy. Like, he's telling me exactly what I'm missing just through his Instagram. So I reached out, and I have not had a flare up since reaching out to Wes. Now I get to go to Fiji in a week feeling so confident. And I did not think that was going to be happening, considering the fact that 3 months ago I couldn't even put on my shoes.
What would you tell someone that's on the fence?
Rip the band-aid off, because what I was doing, you think you're doing everything right. And then when I got on Wes's program, I would have not have ever thought about doing any of this protocol. Blind with what you got to do. It's not the stretching. You might be doing too much of something, too little of something, and you just won't know because you need a professional to help your back.
It's not necessarily that people are doing everything wrong. It's just that I'm way smarter than you and I know what you're supposed to be doing. So that's why she made that much progress in 3 months. For someone that's like, how the hell is this guy with a man bun going to help fix my back pain remotely? Like I've seen all these professionals in person and no one's helped me. Like what's just been the let's say your experience with the back and forth in terms of our communication. Fill people in on what that's looked like and how it's been for you.
You are on it. You are on it. I will send my video forms of the exercises that you have me doing, and you get back to me within the next morning by 5 a.m. with all the feedback movements that I need to change up, things that I'm doing right, and just constantly checking in on me.
So let's talk about this right here, because this is what coaching looks like. I just don't give someone a program and hope I never hear from them again. The program is only half of the equation here. And that's why when people are like, oh, I just need a program, I don't need coaching. Yeah, you do, dumbass, because you are not smart enough to interpret and understand your symptoms and how to adjust the program accordingly. We have a starting point that we start people out with, but then everyone's going to progress at their own rate because everyone's injury is specific and different to them. So the program becomes this living, breathing thing that we're adapting and adjusting based upon how you're responding. And if you were smart enough to be able to do that, you wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. So that's where the coaching comes in. And in this client in particular, she always asked for help. She always posted her videos. And if she ever needed feedback, questions, or she had a concern, she reached out. That's how we set her up for success, and we had this quick a turnaround in 3 months. If you're interested in what step 1 of that process looks like, the comment section or the description below has our assessment. Run through the assessment, book a call with me.